Good morning, everyone. My name is Mr. Russo, and I am your summer eClass principal. I am coming to you live from the board office here at Young and Shepherd. Thank you so much for making the time to meet me and join me synchronously or asynchronously here, so that we can board office here at Young. We can engage at the same time. If you've got questions, if you've got any need for clarification, we'll even walk through the e-learning site and be able to try and show you how to best set yourself up for success. And I already noticed that the chat is going wild and people are already asking questions, which is fantastic. So I guess we'll begin by trying to identify the basics, really. And then I'll move on from there. I won't ignore any of the questions in the chat. I've got a separate device here monitoring all of your wonderful questions, and I'm so happy that you're online and trying to get that clarity, because really we have this amazing opportunity to engage in teaching and learning in an e-learning site, which is a virtual experience. But we really need to be present. And so we really need to know how to access, when to access, and those key questions, even as simple as, where do I find my course? How do I find my teacher? And how do I email my teacher? So we're going to go through all of that. And I noticed that some of those questions are already being populated in the chat area. Now, in case you don't have a Google account and you don't want to log in to this broadcast in order for you to actually chat and share your question or comment, I have populated a Google form in the chat area. And with that Google form, you'll basically be able to click that Google form and ask your question. And I've got the spreadsheet that captures all of your questions and comments, and I will provide a response. And I will also make this spreadsheet available after the fact, so you can see what questions have been asked and what answers or responses are being provided, because a lot of you do have the same types of questions. Okay. All right. So what I'll do first is I will share my screen and we will go from there. All right. So the first thing I wanted to do is bring you to the tcdsb.elearningontario.ca website. This is how you're going to access your online course. Now, what I'll do is I'll zoom in a little bit here. And what I want to highlight here right away, and I'm not going to rush this piece, because the biggest challenge to launching yourself successfully is login, password, and access. So listen carefully, because there's two groups of people, two groups of students that are accessing our program. There are those that are from the Toronto Catholic District School Board, and there are those that are from other school boards. And what I want to make very clear here is the distinction between the login for both of those groups. Now, if you are a TCDSB student, at this point, you would select login TCDSB students and faculty. TCDSB students, your username and password is the same as the username and password you would use throughout the year to sign into school computers, to access the Wi-Fi. If you need a password reset, if you need a change of password, then you're going to have to send that request to me, and then I will be able to try and get someone to help you right away. Okay. I mean, ideally, it would be wonderful if you would have reset the password or remembered it, reset the password with one of your day school teachers. But if you're not in school and you have forgotten your password, or it's expired, which it shouldn't have, you can send that request to me and I'll try to get someone to help you as soon as possible. If you are a non-TCDSB student, so if you're from a different board, I'm going to provide a couple of solutions. But before I provide them, I want to make very clear that your username and password is different from those from the Toronto Catholic Board. So for example, a non-TCDSB student, your username is your OEN number. Your OEN number can be found on a report card, a credit counseling summary. And this is your OEN number that travels with you from school board to school board throughout Ontario. If you mistakenly use your student number, that will not work. So you have to use your username has to be your Ontario education number or OEN number, okay? And then in terms of access, you're waiting for a password. So there's two ways that you can get a password. The first way, without having to wait for us, is you can select the forgot password link. And in order to see that, you're going to have to click on login non-TCDSB, which is what I just did. And then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to select forgot password. And what you're going to enter here is the email address that you used when you registered to be part of this program. Okay? So once you enter your email address here, go back to your email account and you will receive an email with a link for you to reset your password, and then off you go. If this does not work, then just send me an email and I will get you a password. Okay? Please, folks, do not procrastinate. Log in. Make sure that you're attempting to log in so that you have access. All right? Okay. That is a very important piece. I'm going to log in now and take things to the next step. Sorry about that. Let me go back. All right. Just for the sake of the demonstration, I'm going to use an account that is not associated with my TCDSB account. So let me just fix this. All right. Okay, I'm just waiting to log in. And what you see in front of you is pretty much what everyone is going to see as a standard homepage. And you'll notice on the right-hand side, you've got all of your courses. And on the left-hand side, what you'll see is the main announcements area where I will communicate to you as students and also to your teachers as well, okay? Really, before I go on, I know a lot of the questions that you've already posed can probably be answered already if you access this document. So I'm just going to blow this document up here. I'm going to expand it out. And you'll notice that on this document, I've already provided the most important information you need to know, like the main website for this program where you're going to get updates regularly is right up here, www.tcdsb.org/eClass. If you want to know exactly the timelines for session 1, the timelines for session 2, including transfer of marks, including the fact that you've got to schedule and prioritize a final exam, midterms, please have a look at the schedule, talk it over with your parents, build it into your other scheduled items like your part-time job if you're volunteering, because you really want to make sure that you don't fall behind, you stay on task, and you don't panic because you're organized. The second thing I want to identify here is this is just another YouTube recording that focuses on stuff we're talking about. So if you want to skip that because you're watching this, so be it. On the left-hand side here, I talk about accessing a student orientation course. So if you're not familiar with taking an online course, what you're going to do is when you're in your e-learning site homepage, you can access the orientation course. And by accessing the course, it'll walk you through how you submit your assignments, how you email your teacher, how you participate in a quiz and a discussion, and then you can go through all of those modules at your own pace, all right? If you need support face-to-face, you still have 1 day left. You can come here today, and from 1 to 5, there's an opportunity for you to sit down with someone and ask questions and so on and so forth. And on the left-hand side here, YouTube live sessions. I'm going to have more of these sessions because they're so well received. The reason why we're having these sessions is because, I really don't ever get to connect with students and parents. And so this is an amazing platform. These opportunities are amazing to reach out to you, put a face to a name, You know, you get to see Mr. Russo, your principal, and really you have that access to ask him that question or comment that you want to make in real time. So those are the scheduled dates: July 4th, 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., July 5th, 11 a.m., and then July 18th at 11 a.m. They're all of these broadcasts are going to be shared on the eClass website after the fact. But I will also put up a Google form on the eClass site where you can ask me a question or you can send me an email. It doesn't matter, whatever is convenient for you. Just to understand that we're dealing with a significant volume of registrations and questions and students. So if there is, you know, a little bit of a delay, it would not help if you repeatedly send an email to me or e-register, and then you're sort of clogging up all of the email channels. It'll sort of delay things. All right. So if you want to email me or you want to email e-register for anything else or send me a question via the Google form I'm going to share on our eClass site, you have multiple avenues to contact me. All right. All right. So at this time, I'm going to pause and I'm going to check the chat area. Okay. And there's quite a few questions. So let's see if there's any questions on the Google form. Okay. It doesn't seem like there's any questions on the Google form, which is totally fine. All right. So I'm going to stop. Well, maybe I'll keep sharing in case I have to go to the e-learning site to answer a question or demonstrate. So how do you email your teacher? So I'm going to use a demonstration. I'm going to use a demonstration course, okay, so that I can show you where to go. So for example, if I were to go to my course, hopefully I have some people in this course, okay, there is my course, and just ignore the content and stuff. What you're going to want to do is you're going to look at your teacher's banner, nav banner up here, nav bar rather, and you're going to look for something like this called class list. If it's not called class list, just click on all of them until you get to something that looks like a class list. And then once you're there, all you have to do is select the teacher's name here in blue. And how you're going to know they're a teacher is basically under role, under this column here. You'll notice that, so under this column here called role, you'll notice that the role assigned is teacher. So once you locate that that is your teacher, just click on the teacher's name and then off you go. You've got a window that's going to open up to compose a message to your teacher. Okay, now everyone pause for a minute because I want you to recognize that the e-learning email that you have was created specifically for when you are emailing within the e-learning platform. If you try to email from your platform to someone outside of the e-learning platform, it will not work. So if you're emailing your teacher, all you have to do is click on their name, the window opens up, and again, this is an email that is completely internal for safety and security purposes that will only go to your teacher. Okay? All right. So I hope that that answers that question, Olivia. I'm going to move on to the next question, which we've got quite a few, which is awesome. All right. How do you change your password if you're a TCDSB student? I've already talked about that. I'm put into two classes of the same course. Could it be a glitch? So Pedro, great question. In terms of the scenario, we have had some students email us saying, hey, I'm in two sections of grade 10 history. Well, just so that you know, in the background, we are balancing courses. And so by balancing courses, it means, you know, I can't have 50 students in one course. So we're moving students to another course and we're hiring a new teacher. So in that process of balancing our courses in terms of the number of students per course, you may move around. So that kind of segues into another key point, which means do not start submitting work because you may switch course sections. Okay. All right, I'm gonna move on. So if that is the case, then please contact me directly, and I need to be able to look into that for you, okay? All right. So next question. How will we submit the assignments? Okay, so I'm gonna go to the course again that I was just in, and I'm going to show you how to submit assignments. Okay, so first of all, the best part about submitting assignments is that there's an icon here in the nav bar that is called assignments. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on the icon, and then once you click on the icon, you're going to notice again that there's live links in blue that, if it's blue, then that means that it does something. So you're going to click on the link, and then all you're going to do is upload your work. Okay. So let's see if I can switch to view as a student. Perfect. So I'm going to show you what it looks like as a student. All right. So I'm going to go in to the assignments icon, and there it is. So I'm going to click on this first assignments folder, and then you'll notice that you're going to see this page here. And you'll notice that it's very similar to when you send an email to your teacher. What you're going to do is if you have to attach a file, you add a file this way, right? And then you can select from your computer, all right? And attach the file. If you want to make any comments, you can. And then all you have to do is hit submit. After you hit submit, what's really important for you to notice is that you're going to see a little dot here, like a notification, like what we have on our phones. And the notification here next to the envelope is the fact that there's something in your inbox, in your internal email. Okay. So let me just don't submit. Okay. So every time you submit an assignment, how do you know that it actually went through? Well, you're going to get a submissions receipt in your inbox. So you're going to go to your email and then select email. And then once you're there, you'll notice that in your inbox, you'll have submissions receipt. Okay. All right. So that's a great question. I'm just going to go back home. All right. So next, how do you drop your assignment? I think I talked about that. Will you email us work? So I will not email you work. Your teacher, that's a great question. Your teacher will be posting instructions, potentially a calendar of events. And you're going to need to log in daily. I'm not saying that you have to stay online all the time, but you're going to have to log in regularly to know what's going on. And if you know that something is due on Wednesday, or I mean, I would approach it as week by week, right? I would, if I were to log in on Monday, I would expect that I know exactly what's happening for the whole week. And then that way you enter that into your own calendar and schedule. And so you don't have to panic that, you haven't logged in today, what's going to happen. So that is a really important piece around the taking an online course, is that you have to log in, know what's going on. If you can't find a calendar, if you don't know when things are due, if you don't understand the announcement or the news item that your teacher has shared, email your teacher and ask them specifically, what is it that you don't understand? Okay. All right. And they will definitely provide clarity. You got some awesome teachers. They're all awesome. Okay, what happens? Good morning, Jessica. I'm leaving on vacation for 2 weeks after the exam on on the 27th. How do I get my report card? If you don't pick up your report card, it'll be mailed out to you. So you want to verify that your address is correct. Okay, I'm just going to try to. There we go. Okay. Okay. I just want to put my face up on the screen. So what I wanted to mention was around the question that came in about report cards. So yeah, just verify that your report card, your home address is correct. Okay, and it'll be mailed out to you. What happens if you are absent one day? So folks, let me repeat this again. Okay, the whole idea about leveraging or taking advantage of this opportunity of taking an online course, which we're very lucky to have as an opportunity, thanks to the Ministry of Education and our government, um, is we want to take advantage of the flexibility. So if you're volunteering, if you're working, if you want to hang out with your friends, awesome. No one is saying to do anything other than that. But if you have committed to taking an online course, then just approach things as you would if you were in a face-to-face course. You need to have a schedule. You need to know what's happening. You need to know regularly that if things are due. You need to know that if there's a discussion that your teacher wants you to engage in, then you should engage in it, because that's how you get to see your classmates in terms of their ideas, in terms of their own questions, because you more than likely have similar questions, but you probably have different ideas based on the experiences that you've had in life and based on what it is that you're passionate about. So when you're invited to be part of discussions, participate. It's very rewarding. You'll learn from each other. And at the same time, we can't underestimate the importance of developing our skills, not just online, but also our 21st century skills around communication, skill communication, around the collaborative piece, right? Collaboration. We've got these tools and these technologies now that allow us to develop our skills. And that's what taking an online course can do for you, is not just teach you math, or you're not just learning social studies or social science courses and humanities, but really how to thrive and learn online. Okay, so the answer is around being absent. You need to log in regularly. Okay. Is there any marking on attendance, a specific time frame you need to be online? There is no specific timeline to be online, but let's say, for example, your teacher says, posts an announcement that says, hey, folks, I'm going to be online tomorrow at 11 a.m. Well, guess what? You may want to rearrange your schedule so that you could be online with them and ask your teacher questions right then and there, so you can get answers and get that closure, so you can go on to your next step, or you can go on to submitting your work in time because you have clarity around the questions you wanted to ask or you needed the help. And so that feedback and knowing that there's that opportunity, you want to take advantage of that. So there is no specific time frame for being online. You just need to make sure that you're communicating regularly with your teacher. Okay. All right. Should you see your eClass on your profile before the 4th? Absolutely. But like I said, we're trying to support as many students as possible. And so registration for session 1 is actually open until July the 6th, which means in the background, I'm working crazy with the team, and we're trying to balance courses, and we're trying to hire as many teachers as we need so that we can provide a great opportunity for you this summer. Okay? So if you don't have a course by July 4th and you registered, just email me directly and I'll give you an update. All right. Will we need any textbooks? Great question, Natalia. I don't believe so. However, teachers will be sharing a course syllabus on the first day of your course. And in that course syllabus or course information sheet, it may stipulate any kind of resources that you need. Okay. Chris, I transferred from the TDSB to TCDSB and I never got a TCDSB network ID or password. Okay, Chris, so send me an email and I'll look into that. In your email, also include your OEN number in case that's how I can identify you. Okay. All right. Great questions, folks. I'm pretty happy and pleased. When exactly does the course start? July the 4th. Face-to-face summer school starts July 3rd, but our e-learning program, we actually start on July the 4th. Okay, and we end July 30th. Will we get an email notifying us of the start of the course? No, because you start on July the 4th. So on July the 4th, log in. Log in. And I'm inviting you to log in earlier than that because I want to make sure you have a login that works and that you can access your course. Okay. How do we hand in assignments? We went through that. There's an assignments page within the e-learning course that you're in. And then you go there and then you can upload your assignment, okay, in a particular folder. Janice, is there a way to get into contact with your teacher before the course starts? Janice, you can try by going into the course and sending them an email. I'm not making any promises because teachers are officially starting July the 4th. But that being said, you can always try. Okay. How do you find the actual course on D2L? Great question. Great question. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen. All right. So I'm going to go back. Actually, I don't have to leave this page. What I will do is I'll expand this out so you can see stuff better. All right. So if you notice, there's this 3x3 grid, waffle, whatever you want to call it. What you can do, there's two ways to access your course. What you can do is you can go to what's called select a course, which is this grid here. And what you can do is scan all of these courses that you're included in. And if you have many, you actually will have a search field. And then what you can do is just type in 2018 SS as one word, and then you'll be able to locate your course. Okay. If you wanted to use a different method, what you can do is on the home page, as soon as you log in, you're basically going to see your courses on the right hand side, and from there you can just click on the course and then off you go right into the course. See how it says, see how it lists my courses here on this widget on the right hand side? So you can just click on your course and go right into the course. Okay. So here's the example of the student orientation course I was talking to you about. I'm just going to click on it and go into it. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep going on. Hi, Sankevi. All right. So when is the ISP ISU due, and when and where is the final exam? So Maya, the final exam will only take place face-to-face for grade 12 university level students. And that basically that scheduled day is for session 1 is July the 27th. Okay, it'll be here. And if you're in session 2, the scheduled exam date is August 10th. Okay. For more details, you can go to the eClass site, or when you log in, like I had mentioned, all of that information is on the home page as soon as you log in. Just click on this live Google slide here and expand it out, and all that program information is available. It's right over here. Location, time, and all that stuff. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna move on. Does the BAF 3M online exam or course have an exam? Again, Marina, when you email your teacher to find out, they will explain what the final portion of your mark will be comprised of: a culminating task, an online exam, so on and so forth. I'm in 2 sections of the same course. So if you are in 2 sections of the same course, please email me the names of the teachers that you are in terms of that you have assigned in terms of those 2 courses. Is there an exam for grade 10 history? Again, contact your teacher and they will explain the culminating task and how the exam will be written online. How do we receive our work from the course? So when you're in your course, there's content, right? And those content pages are like individual websites within your course. And so click on the icon called content. And once you're there, you've got a whole bunch of pages of content that you can access. And within each page, you've got questions, you've got quizzes, you've got discussions, you've got files that you probably need to download and work on, and then save and submit after the fact in your Dropbox folder or your assignments folder. So here, for example, is content. There we go. There you go. There's an example of some content. And you'll notice that if there are live links, you're going to select the links and go forward from there. Okay. But it was a great question. So Is there an exam for grade 11 English? Sorry, grade 11 religion? Like I said, folks, please just contact your teacher and they will explain how the online exam will happen and the culminating task. Is there a midterm and an exam held at the school board for French? Final exam for French grade 12, yes, but not the midterm. I can't open the e-learning site on my laptop. It says I need permission. I can't open the e-learning site. I need permission. So Lucy, are you referring to your login doesn't work or your laptop is having issues? Either way, Lucy, just send me an email, okay? I can't log in, Francine. Okay, so send me an email with your OEN number. And if you have a TCDSB username, send that as well. Is the exam only 2 hours? It'll be set by your teacher between 2 and 3 hours for grade 12 university, especially. No, if they have summer class for civics, is there due assignments or we just do it at our own pace? No, you definitely will have, Cindy, great question. You'll have due dates in terms of your submissions. How do I know who my summer school teacher is? You're going to go to class list. And in the class list, you'll notice that the teacher has the role assigned to them as teacher. Let's keep going. You said something about the transfer of marks. What does that mean? So if that's a great Armani, great thing you picked up on. So there are grade 12 students that are waiting to get their marks transferred to university and or college. And so if you're a Toronto Catholic student, we transfer the marks for you. If you are a non-Toronto Catholic student, then you've got to come pick up your report card. You've got to take your report card either directly to the registrar's office of the university or college, or you've got to take it back to your school board, and then they process the fact that you completed the mark and that they update your credit counseling summary, and then the marks will get transferred via your school board. Okay. Is health card okay as an no? You should never use your health card as an identification item. Okay. Does anyone see their eClass? Is there an exam for 11U? Yes, there is, but not face to face. Ali, is there a specific time we have to log on to D2L from the class? So Ali, you should be logging in daily to make sure that you have updates and you're aware of the updates that your teacher is offering, okay? If we miss a broadcast, is there a way to rewatch it? Absolutely, no problem. Valerie, I'll share this broadcast on the eClass website, www.tcdsb.org/eClass, okay? When we pick up our final report cards, do we pick it up at our regular high school? No, if you're picking up an eClass report card, then you'd be picking it up at the Toronto Catholic District School Board office, the Catholic Education Center, which is at 80 Shepherd Avenue East. Okay. Do we log in on our own time or are the classes timed? So, and Zed, great question. Like I said, unless your teacher specifies that there's a specific time they would like for you to log in, so you're online at the same time, there is no stipulated time or mandatory time you have to log in. My advice is that you do log in every day. And if it's not for long periods of time, then it's multiple times throughout the day to check in on to see what's happening and that you're contributing actively and that you're present in your course. Okay, don't do things last minute because you can't expect the teacher then to just rush around and scramble and provide responses to 30 kids because you're doing things last minute. Okay. Are both July 4th YouTube sessions just strictly orientation? It's going to be just like this. It's all about just drop in, ask a question, get the help that you need. It's not mandatory as a session. It's just me trying to say hello, introduce myself, but also try to support you in real time around the questions that you might have. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Do I do my work on Google Docs? It depends on your teacher and what they suggest. So that is something you can speak with them about. Um, yeah, if you've got civics and careers, no, there's no partitioning and identifying that you're doing one in the morning, one in the afternoon. There are two courses in your profile, and you should access them both regularly throughout the day. How do we get notified of homework, tests, and exams? That is a great question. Absolutely great question. So, what you can do, and what I will do, is I will show you how to set up notifications. Okay, this is a really useful service. So, what you're going to want to do is you're going to log in and then go to your profile here on the right hand side, top right hand side, and then you're going to go to notifications. Okay, and with your notifications, you'll notice that you're going to have an email address up there. So as long as you have access to that email address, let's say on your phone, um, you can select to have your email receive any kind of notifications when your teacher shares via the activity feed, via announcements, or if you want, like, let's say your teacher sets a due date on an assignment, they can allow or enable that you receive notifications 2 days before something is actually due. So you can set up all of these notifications, and then that'll remind you that something's going on in your course that is new, that you should check in and see what it's all about. That was a great question and a great tip, because notifications really do help. I get all kinds of notifications on my phone as an email, because that's just the way it draws attention that something in the e-learning site or something needs to be responded to. So notifications really, really are helpful. So I'm going to transition to more questions. Are all the classes like YouTube Live? No, no. This is me reaching out to you. It's not necessarily the case that your teacher will offer a live session or even live tutorials. So that's a great question. But again, you'll understand the possibilities once you log into your course, and have a chat with your teacher. Okay. Uh, how do I get to this page? When my summer eClass show up? If you don't have your summer eClass course, just send us an email, and I'll look into why you haven't been enrolled in your course yet. Okay, how many assignments do we get? That all depends on your teacher. Can we take the course from a different country? Yeah. So if you're in a different country, just be mindful of any kind of limitations. Let's say that you don't have access to Google in certain countries, or just make sure you have a device that has multiple browsers. I want to mention right off the top, the best browser to use would be Google Chrome, in order to minimize the limited functionality possibility. So if you're using Internet Explorer, you may notice that your links won't be active, or that you won't have the full experience of your course. So please use Google Chrome as an internet browser. The video is lagging a bit, right? Or is it just me? It's okay. Eventually it'll catch up in terms of what I'm sharing. Just looking through a lot of questions here. That's awesome. So how much is the exam worth? That depends on your teacher. Uh, wow, so many questions. Do we go to CC for exams? Can you give a brief explanation of how eClass works? I want to work over the summer. I need to know when I can work. Marcelo, I did speak about that. And like I said, the best thing to do is know how to contact your teacher. We went through that. Set up your notifications to receive any kind of notice that something new has been shared that you need to be aware of. That's second. Third, if you need a calendar or a schedule, then invite your teacher to share uh, with you what the week is going to look like, so you can plan out, weeks at a time. If you need that support, trust me, if you give your teachers some suggestions, if they don't already put things into practice for you, they will consider how best to organize you, because if you're organized, then they will be organized because you'll submit your work on time. So the login piece, you should log in daily just to check in and make sure that you're aware of everything that's going on. But if you are making your due dates, if you are, how do I say this, meeting your due dates, and if you are fully aware of what's happening, you are contributing as necessary, then you may not have to log in every day, but I wouldn't take that chance. I would always log in, okay, daily. So if it means that you're working during the day and you log in at night, so be it. But if something is due at 4 o'clock during the day, then you need to make sure that that item is uploaded to the assignments folder that has the item due at 4 o'clock that day. Okay. Can't wait until the evening. If you wait until the evening, then you need to tell your teacher and say, Miss, sir, I know this is due at 4 o'clock. Can I submit it at 5? That's when I get home from work. See what they say. Okay. How do you know which one is your summer school course? Because Adam, you're going to search by using the word 2018 SS. And then what happens is that'll eliminate all the other courses, and the only course that's associated with summer school will remain on the list. Okay. I signed up for math session 2, but I need to take session 1. How can I fix that? Helen, just send us an email. Okay. Grade 11 religion. I think I might be repeating the same questions. I'm going to start from the bottom. No problem, folks. Are the tests and exams timed? Absolutely. How do I set up notifications? Just go to your profile in the e-learning site, and then there's a page called notifications, and you check off the ones that you want to be notified about. Is it similar to Google Classroom? Similar, but there's just more to it, right? There's a space for discussions. There's a space for announcements and sharing and content. So it is I would say, different, but the idea around being in an online space together with your teacher and students is similar. Okay. Um, I am registered in 2 sections of academic history with 2 different teachers. So Kiara, just send us an email and I'll verify that you're only actually registered in 1 course of history. Do we have to do our tests at a certain time, or can we do it at any time? You're going to have to discuss that with your teacher, who is going to set up the schedule for you, okay? Also, is my user ID my OEN? I'm not. Yes, your OEN would be your username if you're a non-Toronto Catholic student. If you can't get to Shepherd to pick up your report card on the days that report cards are given out, then not to worry. Just verify your address with your teacher so that we mail out the report card to the proper home address. Okay? But if you're a non-Toronto Catholic student, it's very important that you get that report card and take it to your school board, especially if you're graduating, so that your records are updated right away and that marks are transferred to university and colleges as part of your application process. If you're not in a hurry to update your marks, then hold on to your report card. And the first day of school, when you're going back to your non-TCDSB school, you walk into guidance and you say, hey, I took a course with Toronto Catholic. This is what I finished with. Can you update my records? Don't just assume that you have a report card, and if you're from Dufferin Peel Catholic, that automatically the mark is transferred to your school board. It doesn't happen that way. You're going to have to bring in your report card to your guidance counselor. Okay. If we are traveling and the time zones are completely different, how would that work? Great question. I don't want to limit anyone, but I also want to make sure everyone is fully aware that if you signed up for an online course, it should be up there in terms of your priorities for the summer. So, best piece of advice, log in daily. If you know that you're going to be offline for 18 hours straight, email your teacher, explain the situation. They are not going to hold that against you, but they're going to appreciate the fact that, hey, this student cares about what's going on with their education. They're staying organized. They're helping partner with me to understand how to support them and keep them on a path to success. You cannot assume that your teacher will be able to catch up or help you catch up if you've missed a chunk of time. That is not an assumption you should take or make, because we have 19 school days. 19. If you're offline for a bit of time, even just a bit of time, you are going to fall behind. Okay. And we can't expect teachers to rescue us, because right from the very beginning, as we speak, they're setting up their courses and they're organizing themselves with you in mind. So if you want to help them keep you organized, you've got to communicate that to them. What's going on with you? And let them know, because then they will support you even better. Okay. So a couple of days, I'm just going to be clear that up with my teacher. Yes. If you want to, again, always communicate with your teacher about what's going on. Major questions. What time of day do we have to log in? I already went through that. Regularly, and make sure that you're aware of what's going on. How do we know who our teachers are? Go to the class list in your course. Your teacher will have the role assigned to them as teacher. Click on their name, send them an email and say, hello, it's me. I logged in and I'm ready to go. Nice to meet you. And where do we get report cards? The report cards are going to be offered available to be picked up from the Catholic Education Center, which is our board office at 80 Shepherd Avenue East. Whew, I'm tired. But I got to keep going. I'm so happy that you all are participating and are wanting to know how best to set yourselves up. It's awesome. So, Anita or Ali, I think after we get our report cards, we have to go back to our high school. Yeah, you guys are helping others already while this broadcast is happening. I love that. Thank you so much for the help. So I'm TCDSB. Do I have to take my report card to guidance? No. No. Okay. If we can't pick up our report card, will it be mailed to us? Yes. Okay. At the end of this, is it possible for you to make a summary of the things you think are most important to know? I think that's a great idea. I will definitely post that on the eClass site. Okay, just scanning. I hope I didn't miss anything. I'm gonna check the Google form to see if anyone shared a question via the Google form and they were not signed in. So just give me 1 second. Okay, doesn't look like I got any questions here. Okay. I'll probably share something like this, like a frequently asked questions type of thing on the eClass site. I'm gonna stop sharing. All right, I'm a bit wiped from all of these questions, so I'll scan them again. Like, will the work assignments be posted in announcements? It may be one of the strategies that your teacher uses, or they may use what's called an activity feed. But you'll come to understand that as soon as you log in and see how your teacher has set up the environment. Where can I find their email? Go to class list and click on the teacher's name. Then their email address is there. Correct. Perfect. Okay, so we're coming up on the 1 hour mark, so we're close to 11 o'clock. Oh, no problem. You're welcome. So, folks, I really, really am excited that you made the effort and you scheduled the time to be online, because the ability to meet me and the ability for me to meet you virtually in the chat here means quite a bit. I want you to know there's a face behind the program, and the same thing goes for your teachers as well. Um, but the great thing around taking an online course is the flexibility, but it's equally dangerous because you don't want to get lazy and complacent to think that you can't, or you don't have to log in regularly. Please consider that no one is asking you to be chained to your computer or device, but that we want you to have a balanced summer. Get out there, enjoy your friends and family, volunteer, do the things that you want to do, and take advantage of this opportunity, but only after you've organized yourself. Okay, daily, you need to organize yourself and remind yourself what's due, what do I need help with. Should I email my teacher that I want to talk on the phone instead of the email for something this important? Whatever it is, uh, stay organized and then go out and enjoy yourselves. Okay, just checking the chat again. Uh, Thank you so much, sir. You cleared up a lot of things I was unsure of. Oh, thanks for the feedback. I appreciate it. I got another question here. Does the OSSLT course run the same as others? Yes. Thank you for the info. You're welcome, Daniel. Kristen, for civics and engineers, do we have two different teachers? Yes. Do we check online to see what sessions were put in? Yes. Will it be challenging to do both? It's up to you. I mean, technically, the amount of work for each of the courses is equal to half a course. So combined, it would be equal to a full course. If we are not a TDSB student, what is our password to use for login? So Isabella, you can, if you're a non-TCDSB student, you can try to reset your password after you select the non-TCDSB button on the homepage, and then a reset link for your password will be sent to your email, and then you can reset your password. Your username would be your OEN number. If that doesn't work, just send me an email and I'll try to get someone to help you right away. Okay? Sophie, Soph, NZ, thank you so much. I'm sure I speak for everyone I say you've helped us a lot. Thanks. I appreciate that. How do you do the exam for grade 11? It would be online. Thanks for the info. You're welcome, Vitaly. Louisa, what if we are away for the first day? You can start logging in right now and email your teacher and say, I was able to log in. I'm very excited to be part of this course. I'm just letting you know that I'm away on July the 4th because of this, and I will be logging in regularly thereafter to make sure that I'm on top of things and keep present in your course. Okay? How long do we need to be stay logged in, Lucy? However long it takes for you to understand what's going on and get the help that you need. Okay? There's no standard time. How is civics and careers split up into two separate courses? Thank you so much. No problem. Wait. So if you do a 12U course, you go where to do the exam? The school board, Ruby. You've got to come to 80 Shepherd Avenue East on July 27th for session 1, and for session 2, August 10th in the morning. Okay? Do I log in with my school board account as a TCDSB student? Yes. Christian, I am unable to log into my account and I did not receive an email back from the email you told us to email on YouTube. So Christian, just send me an email directly. Okay, buddy? Thank you. I don't understand something throughout the course. If I don't understand something, I can still ask questions, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Reach out to your teachers. They want to help you. Just do it in a time manner so that they can give you the feedback so they can move you along and not in a last minute sort of way. Can we rewatch this after the broadcast? Yeah, I will share it on the eClass website, www.tcdsb.org/eClass. It'll also be on the channel, of course. Thank you. You may want to subscribe to my channel, and then, obviously when you don't need to know about when I'm broadcasting, you can unsubscribe. But by subscribing to the channel, you'll get the notification when I actually do go live with a session. If we have the second session, can we start the work right away now to get ahead? No. Unfortunately, that won't happen because teachers are not all in place, right? And so the official start date is July 17th. Hi, Mrs. Escobar. Is there a specific time that I have to be online in class, any class every day? No, but you should log in every day. I signed up for session 2, but I think I've been put in session 1. Adina, let us know. We'll make the change. Class is about question mark, question mark, question mark. I don't know what that question is about. Class is about whatever it is you registered for, and then you go from there from what your teacher lays out for you. Louisa, okay. How do I know which session I'm in? Cassandra, if you set up registration through your guidance counselor, they would have told you based on what you wanted or requested. If you registered through our website, you should have received confirmation. If not, just send me an email and I'll try to give you more specifics about where you're located, which session. Joseph Messina, where do I go to log in? The website, tcdsb.elearningontario.ca. And the program site that's important for you to check in regularly is right there. I just shared that as well. Let's see here. How does eClass work? I mentioned that you can review the video here, but basically you're logging in regularly and locating your course, corresponding with your teacher and your classmates on a regular basis. Online exam for civics and careers, yes. Course starts July the 4th for session 1. For session 2, July 17th. I only have the summer school orientation class in my list. Okay, so then let us know. Send me an email, and then that way I will confirm whether you're registered or not, and we'll go from there. What if I skip a few assignments because I get confused? Will I fail? It's just like regular face-to-face school. If you don't submit your work, you don't get marks, right? You don't get the feedback. You're not learning, more importantly, right? So you really can't skip stuff. You got to hand it in, right? How do I know what class I'm in? So you're going to go into your course list and you're going to find your summer school course. It'll be listed there. If you want to search for it, you can enter 2018SS. I'm going to put that in the chat area. Okay, if you search amongst your courses using that phrase 2018SS, it'll only list the summer school course that you're registered in. Okay. I believe our course is going to be set up like the student orientation model. They could look like that, but courses are updated at different times, and so by the ministry, so not all courses will look the same, but they all be part of the e-learning site. How do exams work for 12U? They will be face-to-face at the board office. Okay. I forgot my student login. What do I do? If you're a Toronto Catholic student, it is your TCDSB username and password. If you need help with resetting that password, just send us an email. Is there an exam for OSSLT? Yes, there is, but it's online. Krisha, if you want to know what session you're in, search your course using 2018 SS and it'll come up, and your teacher would message that the course is starting right away. Okay. Okay, 11:01. Gotta head to another meeting. Thanks for joining me, folks. Again, if you've got any questions, send me an email, and let's set ourselves up for success and have a wonderful learning session together. Okay, folks, and a wonderful summer. I'll be back online during those YouTube live sessions that I shared on July 4th and the 5th. Bye for now.